What is up, cheeseheads? Welcome back to another episode of BAM GPG. So this is going to be our final take heading into the matchup on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings as they take on the Packers at Lambeau Field. And we're going to jump right into the final injury report of the week because there's a lot to cover here for the Packers. So first things first, for the Packers, running back Josh Jacobs, he is officially listed as questionable for this game with a knee injury. He did leave last week's game early, but did return to a limited practice sessions this week. So he truly is trending towards a game time decision for the Green Bay Packers. And honestly, there's a real argument to be made for Josh Jacobs that the Packers should rest him this week, right? A knee injury for a power style running back like Josh Jacobs, it's truly nothing to mess with. And if you rush him back at less than 100%, you risk turning what could be a short-term issue into something that lingers for the remainder of the season for him. And the Packers, they're going to need Josh Jacobs at full strength for the kind of end of the year run here, right? Especially as you're trending towards the playoffs here, especially with tough opponents coming up. You got potential playoff positioning ahead that you're going to have to look at the seeding, right? One extra week of recovery, it could mean a fully explosive, fully confident Josh Jacobs once he does return, instead of a limited version that's just trying to gut it out, right? So if he's not truly ready, sitting him this week could easily be the smart long-term decision for the Green Bay Packers. Now, on the defensive side, linebacker Quay Walker, he is doubtful with a neck injury this game. He missed all week of practice. So that expectation is that he will not play on Sunday against the Vikings. Cornerback Nate Hobbs, he is ruled out once again for the Green Bay Packers. And the wide receiver core, once again, is a little bit banged up. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, and Dontavian Wicks are all listed as questionable with various injuries. You have a wrist, the knee. Christian Watson's going to be listed in that knee injury, but does look like he is 100% back. I would expect him to play for sure. Shoulder for Matthew Golden and the calf injury for Dontavian Wicks. So there is definitely some concern in the Green Bay Packers receiving room going into Sunday, right? On the defensive line, Lucas Van Ness is listed as questionable, but it does sound like he is a go to play on Sunday. So that'll be good news for the Packers. Getting him back onto that defensive front is going to bolster that rotation as well as help out in the run game as well. Now, the good news for the Packers, Jordan Love. We all know he went out for a series with that shoulder injury last game. He did practice fully all week. The shoulder does not appear to be anything lingering from that. Of course, it'll be something to keep an eye on. You don't want to see him taken off out of the pocket too often this week. You'd like to protect him a little bit better. But as far as Sunday, there are going to be no restrictions for Jordan Love, and that's obviously huge for the Green Bay Packers. Now, flipping to Minnesota's side here, center Ryan Kelly is listed as questionable coming off a concussion, but that designation is to believe just to be kind of more procedural as he works his way back from the injured reserve. Now, outside linebacker Jonathan Greenard is also questionable with a shoulder issue. On the offensive line, left tackle Christian Darrisaw was a full participant on Friday, and guard Will Fries was limited. So both appear to be trending towards playing against the Packers on Sunday. Overall, the Vikings are coming into this game a little bit healthier than the Packers, at least on paper, right? And let's move on to the final take this Sunday. This is a home game for the Green Bay Packers, and that gives Green Bay a little bit more of an edge, but they're sitting at 6-3-1 on the year. Minnesota is 4-6, and on paper, the Packers are the better team. But injuries, they're a wild card here, right? And if Josh Jacobs is limited, the Packers need that next man up mentality from the running back room. They need to establish a run this game to keep Jordan Love balanced. Protecting Love is also huge, especially with a lot of his receivers getting banged up here late in the year. Now, defensively, losing Quay Walker, it's going to be tough for the Packers, right? They're going to need to create some of their pressure packages, and the secondary is going to have to be able to hold up without one of their kind of better linebackers this week, right? Now, for Minnesota, they're going to try to take advantage of these injuries, right? That's an obvious one. And if they can win at the line of scrimmage and control the tempo, they can make this a 4-quarter kind of slug it out fight against the Green Bay Packers. Now, my prediction for this one for the Green Bay Packers, I like the Packers at home. It is a division rival. Jordan Love being healthy is the difference for me. And Green Bay, right? I like to take them in this one to win a close one. I think something like, let's go with our lucky number this year, 27-20. But make no mistake about it, this one, it's tighter than what the records suggest this year. The Packers, they need to play clean football and avoid a potential upset this week. That's your final Packers update, your final take going into Sunday. We'll see how it plays out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back probably after the game on Sunday. Bring you a recap, let you know our thoughts and opinions on it. And as always, it's Go Pack Go.